It was shortly after
Oh, look at that.
5 a.m. when police say a man entered the Nanaksa Gurdwara in North Edmonton during morning prayers. They say he was armed with a screwdriver.
To have the sanctity of this space be violated in such a brutal and aggressive way has been extremely disturbing.
He attacked.
Dude, it's so fucking jarring that there's structures like this that exist in fucking Canada. It's fucking weird. New Frankments? Alright.
He attacked two men, worshippers, aged 75 and 51, before police say others intervened and held him back.
He ended up attacking several individuals, two of whom have been hospitalized with injuries.
Edmonton police say.
Let me guess, the guy was out on bail for fucking eating a baby or some stupid shit. Fucking Canada, dude. You know what's absolutely insane? There's been another fucking homeowner charged for defending himself from home invaders. This guy was in his home with his son. A group of men broke into his home. They shot his son. He wrestled the gun away from the home invader, shot him. The others ran away, and he opened fire at them. He's getting fucking charged. Like it's all done. Like it's gone through court. He's getting 2 years. Fuck, like I gotta fucking move out of here.
The 27-year-old man now in custody was released from a federal correctional facility just the day before. He was known to police.
It is concerning when violent repeat offenders are continually released into our community that cause further harm.
Now police.
Yeah, of course. So this guy was a violent whack job. Everybody knew it. They just let him out of jail, and then he stabs a bunch of people. Like, welcome to fucking Canada. Just let the criminals do whatever the fuck they want.
Police are determining if the attack was motivated by hate.
The EPS Hate Crimes Unit has also been engaged and is working closely with the investigators.
Hate and racism and prejudice have no place in our city.
But crime is fine. That's why you keep letting him out. And that's why you charge homeowners from defending themselves and their property. As long as it's not hate motivated, it's fine.
Attack comes at an alarming time for Sikhs in Canada.
The South Asian community in particular has been under.
Fucking retarded. Alright, let's get these Frankments out of the way. So I already saw that video. Oh, these are gonna be fucking stupid.
One of the main arguments in favor of American plastic surgeons is that, oh, you'll actually have legal recourse if something goes wrong, or, you know, you can actually get a lawyer and sue the doctor. Nope.
It's only if there's malpractice, Frank. Just because you don't like how the procedure turned out, it doesn't mean it's malpractice.
You have zero legal recourse. Actually, that's not true. What I should say is that the system set up to make you believe that you have a chance legally is completely fake. So would you rather be baited by a fake system that's designed to extract more money from you, or go to another country and pay 10% of the price and probably get a...
Saying stop the boats is an arrestable offense here. Dude, if the Conservatives don't win the next election, like, I'm seriously going to look into moving to the States. Manny, how do you feel about the Kirpan? Do you feel people of faith should not be able to walk around with it? Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Should I be able to just make my own religion where I have to be able to walk around with a loaded handgun? Like, why the fuck do they make legal exemptions for religious beliefs? It's a fucking knife. You can stab people with it. And there's been a lot of stabbings with those Kirpans. Like, it's complete fucking bullshit that, oh, we're peaceful, it's just a ceremonial thing. they get into fights with those things all the fucking time. So it's just total bullshit. Oh, it's my religious belief, therefore I don't have to follow the law. Like, I get special fucking privileges because I believe in some stupid, dumb, magical sky wizard. If it's that easy, okay, I believe in gun Jesus, therefore I can walk around with a fucking staccato XC. Like, it's just bullshit. So, like, either it's all okay or none of it's okay. If we're gonna have a standard where, as long as it's part of a religious belief, you can carry whatever weapon you want, I'm totally fine with that. I'll say I'm a follower of gun Jesus, and as long as I can carry around a staccato, totally okay with that. But yeah, since they're giving special treatment to certain religious groups arbitrarily for no fucking reason because cultural enrichment, it's racist otherwise, like, fuck you. Thanks for that, Manny.
Comparable, if not better, result. Tough luck. I think the next big thing in surgery and online surgical communities, and it's happening already, is really going against these American plastic surgeons and these corrupt individuals who have so much money to control the argument and control social media and scam you into going to them.
And of course, they're all Jewish, and he's a fucking massive anti-Semite. Just fucking total fucktard.
He had me remove my pants. He slid over, he pulled his pants down, and it was the same thing.
The Fraternal Order of Police, the police department, and for the most part, any single law authority are a bunch of corrupt lunatics that are self-serving and should not be in a position of power. I feel like every single government body related to this should be disbanded. The people should be, a trial of peers, and they should rule and jurisdict their local community and those circumstances. And these police officers should really be servants to the public, not this psycho, corrupt stuff where these people get away with whatever they want. And this reminds me of that judge that was
Frank regularly gets lip filler injected into his lips. That's why his lips look swollen and fucked up, and he has trouble talking sometimes.
Running a sextortion scandal. But what about the dozens, if not hundreds, of other people that were involved in that scandal? All the correctional officers, all the people that, where are they? He wasn't doing this on his own. Google is just funneling doctor to bond victims like it's a butcher shop. That's how little these people think of you. You are nothing more than a paycheck. You are worthless, less than a pig, less than cattle, less than a farm animal. You mean nothing to these people. As soon as you pay them, they...
Staccato is a handgun manufacturer. They make 2011s.
They do not care what happens. These evil people at Google that have read hundreds and hundreds of botch horror stories only to delete them, silence them, and remove them. Because if his star rating was truthful, he would be out of business. He would have 1 or 2 stars. People would be scared as hell reading all the negative reviews. But hey, unless you kill...
Or maybe you're just retarded.
40 people as a doctor, they're still going to funnel you victims because these people believe they are royalty and you're just a peasant in the street. You are worth nothing to these evil surgeons, and they...
He's just nuts. Yeah, the Staccato XC. That's what I would choose for everyday carry. If I lived in a country that, treated you like an adult and gave you basic human rights and freedoms. But yeah, that would be my everyday carry choice. This is a nice-ass fucking gun, dude.
Always one disaster after another here. And, if Tufano just paid me $40 million, I wouldn't be here trying to sell potato chips. And the fryer did overflow. I'll show that clip real quick.
Can we turn the filter on?
Oh my god. This guy can't even fry potato chips.
It out? Is that a bad idea? The valves are closed. Fuck.
Yeah, we did figure that out. Oil was a little too hot, too much moisture coming out from the potatoes, too much mixing at once. I mean, this
Internet service guy was cool. He was just here for 5 minutes.
is not an easy thing to do. You know, there's a reason that it's big
Yeah, they still make Berettas. The new Beretta's pretty nice.
billionaire companies that are making potato chips, and there's no real small producers. But we do have potato chips. I mean, we have been selling potato chips.
That's kind of weird. Did you guys catch that?
Can we turn the filter on? Just suck it out? Is that a bad idea? The valves are closed. Fuck.
Yeah, we did figure that out. Oil was a little too hot.
He said the oil was a little too hot. Didn't he say he was using beef tallow? Why did he call it oil?
Too much moisture coming out from the potatoes, too much mixing at once.
Yeah, is he lying to everybody? Is he just using normal fryer oil and then saying it's tallow?
I mean, this is not an easy thing to do. You know, there's a reason that it's big billionaire companies that are making potato chips, and there's no real small producers. But we do have potato chips. I mean, we have been selling potato chips, just not with our own branding, and they're being made by someone else and costing a lot more money to make. But after seeing how much this oil costs and all that stuff, I don't know if we'll ever make.
He said oil again. So he's probably just making these with oil and lying to everybody.
Make money selling these. You know, there's $8,000 worth of oil in that fryer.
He said oil again.
Bagging machine is a complete disaster. Like, only every other bag works. They're not sealed properly. It's a nightmare to do. But you know, who has, you know, millions of dollars to spend on the American company to give you the equipment? Because, you know, the reason we had to get all this stuff from China was because the American manufacturers want a few $1 million just to get your foot in the door to fry potato chips. So, you know, this type of fryer in America, several $100,000. From China, it's 15 grand. So it makes it possible for a small business to operate. However, there's a lot of trial and error. It's very difficult to get the stuff up and running. And, you know, these are the first chips we're making, and they turned out pretty good. Almost burned our whole building down, but it turned out pretty good. So might sell these first chips a little cheaper, but this is all this wet is from the beef tallow.
Now he said beef tallow.
The fryer overflowed. The beef tallow flew out under the garage door, and then it went all the way down into our sewer out here. So flowed down all the way out, went down into the grate. That's not actually connected to the sewer. That's just, it gets pumped out into the back, but basically not as much. It looks like a lot more than it was. It was like maybe 15 or 20 gallons of beef tallow overflowed out of it, which was really sketchy and dangerous, you know, because it's like, you know,
Yeah, the way Frank eats is just fucking disgusting.
400-degree oil foaming all over the place. Like, what do? You know, you got the fire, the flame. It's very, 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 very dangerous, very, very sketchy. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and we learned our lesson. It just, this design doesn't make sense. It's a very unsafe machine. And
He's complaining about the American machines being more expensive, and then he's saying the Chinese machine sucks. I wonder why there's that price discrepancy.
Should have definitely had very, very specific instructions.
Fucking idiot. Dodo, please watch in full. Can't watch that. YouTube, TOS with guns. Yeah, can't watch that. Thanks, Dodo.
Not to get irritated. Take a look at this.
These applications for humans.
So far, that was the first. Glaucoma and also...
So David Sinclair's a fucking fraud, by the way.
Sudden blindness. It's called Nion, which is now twice...
Does Frank have the worst genetics ever? Short, gay, retarded, weak narcissist? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much got the worst combination of traits.
Is more prevalent because of the GLP-1 drugs.
Really?
It's not well known, obviously. Companies don't want to talk about it. But yes, sudden blindness has doubled seemingly because of these meds. So you have to be
Holy shit.
careful.
Sudden blind.
Yeah, Aaron, we cannot watch any videos where people are using, handling, or transporting a firearm on YouTube live streams. YouTube changed their TOS in a way that makes absolutely no sense. So
Blindness has doubled because of GLP-1s?
Due to Nion, which is like a stroke in your eye.
blindness has not doubled, and GLP-1s do not cause a stroke in your eye and make you go blind.
So that's David Sinclair. He's a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, and he's telling millions of people here on the Joe Rogan podcast that Ozempic has doubled sudden blindness. Now, of course, this sounds scary, and it makes you wonder if you need to stop your GLP-1 or warn your friends and family members to stop. So NION, it stands for non-arteritic anterior ischemic optic neuropathy, and it happens when blood flow to the optic nerve drops. So people often call it an optic nerve stroke, and it causes sudden painless vision loss in one eye, and it's usually noticed upon waking up. Now, if you're above 50 years of age, NION happens in roughly 1 in 10,000 people every year. So 1 in 10,000, remember that number. Now, despite its frequency, we don't exactly know what causes it, but we do know that things like diabetes, smoking, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol all increase your risk. So in other words, these are the exact types of people who are prescribed a GLP-1 medication. So where did the alarm start that GLP-1 medications themselves might also increase the risk of NION? So enter Joseph Rizzo, who, like Sinclair, he's also at Harvard. Rizzo is a professor of ophthalmology, and he noticed that his NION patients, they seem to be on semaglutide, so that's a GLP-1 medication, more often than what he'd expect. So his team went back through the records, and they counted. Among their patients with type 2 diabetes, 17 on semaglutide developed NION, against 6 in the comparison group. Among those who were overweight or obese, 20 were on semaglutide against 3. So a total of just 37 NION cases were taking semaglutide. Now, bear in mind that this was out of 16,827 high-risk patients at one ophthalmology clinic. So the actual risk of NION is tiny, and given the small amount of cases, we don't know whether from this one study, if GLP-1 medications do truly increase the risk or not. And the authors of this paper, they point out these issues. It's a retrospective paper, and again, tiny numbers, and they finish by concluding that the design of our study does not enable query into the causal relationship between the two. And get this, our manual review of the records for the study revealed that 40% of cases coded as NION were not actually NION, but rather arteritic ischemic.
You should get a pet grizzly bear. It's omnivorous, so you can just feed it peanut butter. But for real, this video is legit crazy. Start the video at 8 o'clock.
Video unavailable in my country, unfortunately. Thanks for the donation, though, Vegan Daddy.
Optic neuropathy from giant cell arteritis. So far then, we know that diabetes and metabolic syndrome, they increase the 1 in 10,000 risk of NION, the exact patients whom GLP-1 medications are prescribed, and we've got a very controversial paper that
My volume's kind of low.
tentatively suggests a possible link with GLP-1s, but that's not at all what Sinclair makes it out to be. Nothing here is a criticism of Rizzo or his work. He's done great work. It's how people like Sinclair have actually covered this paper. Now, given the amount of people who use GLP-1 medications by now, if there was a huge risk of increased blindness, we would know many people who are blind. But
These GLP-1 drugs have been on the market for well over a decade now. So yeah, if they cause blindness, we would know about it by now.
You do not, because these studies don't apply to the general population. This is how a data scientist on X called Cremu was responding to David Sinclair. So I'm quoting now. He says, I pointed this out before in a post linked in the thread that David is replying to, meaning that in addition to being daft, a liar, or both, he's also not circumspect, because his specific links were already
Hello Mr. GigaChad, can you please ask Lona Box to unban the N-word from the Discord?
I don't think he's going to do that, dude, but thanks for the donation, Spider.
shown to lead to absurd conclusions. David only holds up in weak studies with small samples, poor controls, and results that imply huge proportions of the population should have already gone blind, and they have not. They are obviously wrong. Sinclair then responded to that post by saying, "Are you paid to post this? Read."
Yeah, David Sinclair is a piece of work. This guy is a complete and utter fucking fraud. Like, just degenerate, retard, fraud scammer.
The scientific literature, for which David Sinclair was community noted, saying the linked studies examine patients at one
Can you bring back the lifestyle vlogs? Oh, you mean like the video I posted a few days ago?
specialist clinic, which again is what we've gone through in this video, and do not show sudden blindness has doubled in the general population. Nigh-on remains very rare, up to 1 in 10,000 patients with GLP-1 drugs. Like I said at the start of the video, I struggle not to get irritated here, because poor scientific communication, like what Sinclair
I don't stream on Twitch because 1, I'm banned, and 2, Twitch sucks. I just get banned anyway. It's a communist fucking shithole. They just ban everybody for having opinions different from Hassan.
constantly does, makes my patient's health worse at the clinic. It creates more work for primary care physicians like me to correct these errors and to use up my patient's valuable time to explain to them why a Harvard professor is wrong, especially because Sinclair's got financial interests in spreading this garbage. So, he is developing a therapy that he believes will help with this issue that isn't actually an issue, so he's financially incentivized to play it up. Here's what the clinical guide...
Yeah, wasn't this guy part of like some big lawsuit where he was like literally lying about research and shit? David Sinclair is just a fucking piece of shit.
Guidelines actually say about Nion. Subsequent studies have yielded mixed results, with some suggesting...
Yeah, buddy, why don't you check my channel once in a while? Like, I literally just uploaded a vlog a few fucking days ago, and then you're asking me, can you upload the fucking video like you uploaded a few days ago?
An association, and others finding no increased risk. Additionally, the biologic plausibility of a mechanistic link between GLP-1s and optic nerve ischemia remains unproven, and GLP-1s appear to be neuroprotective in other settings. So here's what I do warn my patients about regarding GLP-1 medications. I do warn them about muscle loss. So any weight loss strategy will result in some muscle mass loss. Now, it's not specific to GLP-1s.
That is not true. If you weight train, you're not going to lose muscle mass, especially if you also take androgens alongside it. I'm dieting right now. I literally gained 5 pounds because I'm on testosterone and tren.
Any type of weight loss seems to be associated with this, and there are specific things that a patient can do to minimize that muscle mass loss. Things like resistance exercise, making sure they're getting enough protein in their diet. There was a concern about pancreatitis and thyroid cancer, but the real-world data on both of those issues have been reassuring. And while I personally take low-dose tirzepatide, I've got no financial interest in GLP-1 medications, and I explain why I take low-dose tirzepatide in this video.
Pretty much everybody should be on these drugs on some kind of dose. Even if you take a very low dose that doesn't affect appetite, just because you don't need the appetite suppressant, it still has a ton of fucking metabolic benefits. So, like, pretty much everybody should be on those drugs.
To it, but good old Alex Rosen, because he decided to fuck up, botch this goddamn sting operation so bad. There's nothing that they could do. I'm a free man, bitch.
Yeah, not for long, because... Shut up! They reopened the investigation from 2021, and they're about to EDP the shit, eat that pussy, the shit out of the case right now as the documentary came out. He just had to, you know, take that $5,000 and go out there and say...
You sent her pictures of your...
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Right, I know.
It's
That is a
illegal.
fucking blueberry.
Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
Well, you could look at it two ways. Maybe prison is where you belong because of this.
If it was where I belong, I'd be in shackles right now, so...
And he thought that he is untouchable because... Get this. God is watching over him.
God sees all, right? He sees my mistakes. Obviously, I've been punished by him. Others have been punished by him and stuff. I feel like he saw Kayla and Gideon's master plan. And so, therefore, he intervened and saved my ass once
This guy is literally a full-blown narcissist. Like, only a narcissist would do something fucking horrible. Like, try to rape a child. And then think God was watching out for them. Like, because they're not in jail.
Fuck again.
So, God save me from going to jail.
Yes.
He beat his dragon way too much that his brain got to a point, just like Andrew Tate, that if you pimp out little girls and teach people how to pimp out women, there will be no consequences because God is watching over you if nothing happened. And for the $10,000 that he was offered for this documentary, thanks to Mike Klum putting all this work together for 2 years, he just came on the show and said, came on the documentary, 13-year-olds, yummy. I went there for one intention and one intention only, to shaka like a boom boom, but I got away with it. Because, like I said, God's on my side. Very, very soon, Mr. EDP, the prayers have been answered. And for $5,000 or $10,000 I was offered for this documentary, he's now facing 10 plus years inside prison as the investigators decided to open the case again, especially the district attorney of Kern County. Now, what they usually do is they don't go out and, make a public statement. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they just let the news outlets know that, hey, we reopened this. We're going to take a look at it once again. I think we missed some stuff. And they're only doing this because of the documentary was released 19 days ago. Coming out and confessing to all these things. Getting to a point where I don't know why Mike decided to do that, but he showed YouTubers the sexy pictures that EDP was sending.
Yeah, so this is a
Charles, you go to jail for this. He sent this to a 13-year-old. Disgusting. But he had to explain to us the details. Anyways, let's go to the news outlet and see what the district attorney said about this case.
Personality is back in the spotlight after a viral documentary put his controversial past back under the microscope.
But the disgraced internet personality remains a free man. Now it looks like that recently released documentary may change things because the Kern County District Attorney's Office is taking another look at his case.
So while he didn't face any legal consequences,
please come to Brazil.
No. Thanks, Ricardo. You see, Ingrid Newark said PETA has research feeding snakes fortified plant-based diets and that it's possible and they recommend it for captives. Well, I said this, like, there's not really any fucking reason you would suspect a snake needs meat as long as it's fed something like, wet cat food or something. And it's pretty normal to force feed snakes, and you don't have to do it that often anyway. They don't have to eat very frequently. So I would have figured. That's cool that they actually did that research.
The way the sting operation was handled, he received a massive amount of public backlash.
Klum says he reached out to the Kern County Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office. Neither agreed to be in the documentary. The documentary also includes Moreland discussing feelings towards minors, including a person he says was 15 years old in 2023. In the film, Moreland also discusses sending that person explicit photos and videos.
It is fairly shocking to hear presented in such a direct way, but I think that, what EDP did in 2021 and again in 2023 was pretty well documented online.
So the 2021 sting operation where EDP got exposed was a massive fail, according to Mike Klum, who sat down with Chris Hansen in a internal detailed video explaining the whole case.
Since Canada is becoming the UK, what's your favourite British swear word? Twat, minge, spacker, shithouse, knobhead, nonce.
I think poppycock. Thanks, the Wandering Mason. Appreciate it.
Case, they went on and they said Alex was very sloppy. Even in the documentary, Alex said that his predator catching skills were very immature. First of all, Alex was the cupcake, and the whole confrontation was mainly a roast battle instead of taking this whole thing seriously. Apparently, Alex was a huge fan of EDP in the past, and catching him was very exciting for him, for his career. So he kind of messed up on that part. But the 2023, the second time EDP got caught, that was a whole different thing. Because Gideon decided to invite EDP to his Discord, and then from that Discord, EDP found a person who was a member of Gideon, one of the members of the community. He found her attractive, so he decided to go to her DMs. They started having a conversation. And that was the time he was actually speaking with a 15, 16-year-old, where Charlie explained to us in detailed context on what he was seeing in front of him.
He's in his hand and is letting it drip down his hand.
I first reached out to the DA's office last week, and they told me they requested more information on the case back in January of 2022.
These were some great impressions. Hilarious.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with that, Greg. You're gonna keep repeating yourself over and over and over again. Even if you make a response to this video, I know that's what you're gonna do again. You're gonna say, it works for some people, it doesn't work for other people. I'm not gonna respond to Vegan David's argument. I'm going to say, I don't have to respond to arguments. All I have to say is, it works for some people, it works for other people, then buy my fucking testosterone supplement. He's gonna name. Yes, thanks, Killing Titan.
But that information was never resubmitted. The DA's office then directed me to KCSO, so I reached out. At first...
Hi, handsome.
Hello, thank you, 13.
KCSO advised me to reach out to the DA. And after a few more emails and calls, KCSO told me investigators said they did not receive enough evidence or cooperation from those involved in the case. The sheriff's office said in part, quote, "We are aware of the documentary produced by Mike Klum about this case. However, at this time, we are not actively investigating the matter unless additional information becomes available." But now, the DA's office says it is taking another look. After I reached out again, the office told me, quote, "We are re-examining the case in light of the statements made by the suspect in the documentary."
I don't know what Gideon is doing. He needs to stop being a multi-millionaire and actually go forward and help the district attorney. I'm sure. I think Gideon needs to reach out to them rather than them reaching out to Gideon. And also Alex needs to help them as much as possible to take this donkey off of the streets. There was a lawyer inside the documentary who said that Gideon needs to stop doing this documentary ASAP because this can land him in a lot of shit. And this is his video before the news even decided to come out with this news that they got from the district attorney.
Hi, this is Michael Pariente. I'm a criminal defense lawyer here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You might recognize me from the documentary, The Sick Mind of EDP445, produced by Mike Klum.
Quite frankly, doing this documentary, it's just a stupid idea.
I was interviewed to give my legal opinion and advice to EDP445 as to whether or not I thought he should do this documentary. And my advice was, do not do this documentary because it's a stupid idea to do this documentary. Well, as you know, he did the documentary, and now he has been seen by millions of people on this documentary admitting to committing very serious crimes. What I believe is going to happen next is this. When you tell the government, F you, and you're giving a big middle finger, celebrating crimes you think you got away with, the federal government is going to come after you.
Off topic. That was way the fuck back. I don't care. Is a legitimate answer to this question. Do you still subscribe to your revision of your view on abortion after your convo with Dr. Avi?
Yes, thanks, Pablo.
I believe a U.S. attorney somewhere in the country where he's accused of committing these crimes is going to indict him. And if he's convicted, which is going to be easy to do because he's admitting to committing these crimes. If he's convicted, he's looking at a minimum 10 years in prison. That's called a mandatory minimum, which means the federal sentencing judge can't give him less than those 10 years. So if you commit a crime, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony, don't brag about it. Don't go tell your friends about it. Certainly don't go on social media.
Well, Mr. Lawyer, the reason why he went and did this whole documentary, obviously his cheeseburgers are not going to be funded. Like, yes, God protected him, but God is not going to just give him money like that. I mean, he saw an opportunity. I bet he thought the documentary was God sending him money. But he's untouchable, according to him, because God watches over people like him. Because they're super, super, super special. Now,
I am here, VG. Don't worry now. Those are cats. Oh, he's pissing. Smelling the cat's butt. That's nice. Trump endorsed her.
National security question as well. Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States, and if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, so. But
This is a senator or somebody running to be senator.
I do support the military. My brother was in the Air Force for 33 years, so I will do my thing.
Okay, retard. What does he mean misused during COVID? mRNA vaccine success versus melanoma in phase 3 randomized trial today is on top of sign success for personalized mRNA. Eric Topol. Despite its obvious misuse during COVID. I'm surprised this didn't get community noted. It saved lives. So, yeah, Elon Musk is a retard. Thanks, Dodo. Thanks for the membership, Mike.
They are going after him. They are opening up the case again. Anyone who was involved in this in 2021, 2022, and 2023 need to come forward and just put this donkey in prison.
So that's good. They're reopening the EDP investigation. And hopefully that fat ass dies in prison.
To their lives in prison. I mean, and that's just in the UK.
3 countries currently want a piece of Andrew Tate, and the strange part is that none of them can actually move, guys. Britain wants him in a courtroom, Romania won't let go of him, and America is the one physically holding him while everybody argues. What's on the table if the UK case goes the distance is not a few years inside?
The final question, if they were convicted on all counts of all these charges.
That was Lindsey Graham's sister, and Trump endorsed her for Senate. Oh, this is the new Silent Hill, right? Yeah, this game's probably gonna suck. Every Silent Hill game sucks. Is she being a dramatic narcissist attention seeker? Yes, nobody films themselves crying. Thanks, Dodo.
What kind of sentence could they be looking at?
The rest of their lives in prison. I mean, and that's just in the UK.
The rest of their lives, and that's before you factor in anything Romania might still do. Something else got confirmed since the last video too. Despite the family connections between the Trump camp and the Tates, the president has made clear he isn't stepping in on the extradition, and CNN has reported that directly. A large section of Tate's own audience took that badly, with the general reaction being that he backed Trump publicly for years and got nothing when it mattered. Tate himself has spent months making clear who he thinks is really behind all.
Oh god, this is an AI channel, I didn't realize. I got fooled.
This, and it isn't anyone in Washington.
Look at his face. That's the face of evil. Kier, when you lock me up in Belmarsh, which I know you're going to do, that's fine.
Their first court appearance has now happened, and as expected, this is going nowhere fast. Both brothers remain in custody, with CNN reporting it approached the Florida Attorney General's office for details on where and how they're being held. The judge was careful to point.
What is this AI-generated slap Andrew Tate video? Do we have to watch that? Also, I want to see you play Silent Hill because commentary from you is also funny. Oh my God, why does it scroll down? U.S. national debt hit 40 trillion, doubling less than a decade. Reminder 26. So do you get the national debt fairly quickly? I know.
Well, I'm sending this to George.
Yeah, there we go. I really wish I could just beat these people.
Right, I'm recording this. Right.
Is it possible, like, for everybody to just gang up on them and just beat the shit out of them?
Fascist. Why we gotta make the animal rights movement about humans, right? Now make it about...
Yeah, that's the vegan community. Well, you know, with air quotes. Let me see, I know CoffeeZilla made a video on the Tates fairly recently. That's the crypto grid. Did he take it down?
I know this because I got Tristan Tate's passport, his fake passport he was using.
A few moments later.
This bizarre story was originally uncovered.
Yeah, I might try the MW4 beta.
By CoffeeZilla. The apparent Mexican passport bears Tristan Tate's photograph and a date of birth, but the name Vladimir Scorpio.
It's just be shameless, dude. And then at the end of it, you can just say, hey, they're attacking me. I'm a free speech man.
The Tate brothers are currently sitting behind bars right now, trying their hardest to get bail. And the thing that is being used against them is they're a flight risk. And something that CoffeeZilla uncovered was actually presented in these files. They said there's some evidence that Tristan Tate maintains multiple identities and passports under false names. The UK authorities have discovered an online post containing a photograph of a Mexican passport bearing Tristan Tate's photograph, date of birth, and under the name Vladimir Scorpio. Importantly, the UK also uncovered evidence corroborating Tate's connection to that name, including an online video in which Tristan Tate declares, I'm on a ship.
Well, at least someone was there to call it out, and it's intersectionalist trying to take over the vegan movement, just like that Darren Chang person. Watch this exchange.
It's called
Yeah, Hamas murder people's companion animals as well.
I know Kane.
Dia, what's your name?
My name's Richie.
All right, and Kane. Yeah.
Just a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I'm just saying. We should support animal sanctuaries in Gaza, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're saying.
Absolutely, but that's not what he said. He said free Palestine,
Free
right?
Palestine.
That's a political message about human. You didn't say support the animal sanctuaries in Palestine.
It's one struggle, it's one fight.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's white rights, the same.
Notice how the pro-Palestine guy looks like a beta male faggot.
Black rights.
It's all one struggle, one fight.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah. But you answer the question. Look, yeah. The question is, would you support going to a Black Lives Matter march and saying White Lives Matter?
No, but I'll go to them and say the same. So
what's the difference?
The same system that oppresses black people, that oppresses Palestine, oppresses animals, oppresses people fighting for animals.
Yeah. But
one is reactionary, right? And then White Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. They're doing that in defiance. This is in defiance.
No.
Anti-Palestinian.
Who fucking cares? B. Cats. Oh. My goodness. Wow. It's funny how the cats do stuff. Thanks, Dodo.
I'm Captain Vladimir Scorpius, and his registration as a director of a UK company called Scorpius Ltd. And obviously there was tweets that go along with this. What's your favorite book protagonist of all time? Vladimir Scorpius. If you know, you know. And his friend had said, I actually know him. I had his passport. I think he's originally South American.
Would you have gay sex for $1 million?
Yeah, it's a lot of money, maybe. Thanks, dude.
They was bragging about this kind of stuff online, and it said in the court documents they're being presented to try and keep it behind bars, deeming them a flight risk. And CoffeeZilla had said this a long time back.
I'm just going to show you that the Tate brothers, in addition to what they've been accused of here, also have been laundering money as literal Bond villains. How do I know this? Well, that's the profile they used when trying to set up shell companies to allegedly launder money. I know this because I got Tristan Tate's passport, his fake passport he was using.
Yeah, they're getting deported.
You can see his name is Scorpius Vladimir, also known as Vladimir Scorpius, the main villain in the James Bond novel. That's who Tristan Tate is pretending to be when signing up for accounts with various payment processors. I know this because I had a whistleblower from one of these payment processors give me these documents and show me exactly what this guy was doing.
Andrew Tate used to go by Master Poe on X, and he said, I woke up in Munich running from the German police, and it wasn't a good idea. They're outside and every car is impounded. They've also got everyone's IDs from the hotel reception. Thank fuck I used a dummy passport. The second time this trip, it saved me. He said, I explained to you men countless times. Get 5 passports, 5 driver license, then change your name in a few countries so you have legit passports with new names. Don't be lazy, it's essential, and learn. So the UK police are now referencing these fake passports, something that CoffeeZilla exposed a while ago. We're going to get into a second. His lawyer actually responded as well and explaining the passport situation. But just first, this is Andrew Tate elaborated on it.
People inside the war room have asked me.
What's your current stance on Luigi Mangione? Has it shifted? Do you still side more with him than the healthcare CEO who he killed? I side more with Mangione. Haven't many of your recent streams covering him. Just saw you debated Destiny on it before. Health insurance companies are like evil and they're all fucking scammers, and United Healthcare is a bunch of fucking assholes. They were using AI to deny claims and shit. So fuck them. Thanks, dude. Dodo, let me see. You've already sent me that. We already reacted to it.
Can't tell you that. But I get along with him. And you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons. Should have never allowed it to happen. They should have never allowed it. If I were president, I wouldn't have allowed it. But he's got them. I get along with him very well. You can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And I know Kim Jong-un very well. And he's going to be...
A fucking idiot.
Sticking together. I think that NATO made a terrible mistake when they wouldn't send a small amount of military armament, when they wouldn't send just even...
Did you watch this?
We'll get that in a second.
Acknowledge what we were doing for the world and taking on Iran. I never considered...
He's not wrong about this. Yeah. These other countries should have contributed to the Iran war effort.
It's very risky, but war is always risk. You know, a lot of strange things happen in war that are very bad, but I didn't consider it. I know how great we're the greatest military by far anywhere. There was nobody close. I didn't think there was a big risk, but there's always surprises with war. They can be very bad surprises. I mean, wars are lost that should be won. Many wars are lost. You think a country is going to wipe somebody out and they end up getting wiped out themselves?
They don't make 26 gauge insulin syringes. They only come in 29, 30, or 31.
So it's always risky. But I think a tremendous mistake. Together. I think that NATO made a terrible mistake.
Is that the same link twice? Yeah, it is. And Trump wasn't talking about leaving NATO. Oh, little kicking. Oh my goodness. still kicking. Baby kitties, you're nice. Can't watch that. Thanks, Dodo. Yeah, you already know that.
Today, I'm with
We've
these
already watched that. Thanks,
for a very long time. Why I was so crazy about multiple passports, multiple banking, etc. I said, if you have all of your money inside of one country, you're a psycho. Because if that government tells a prosecutor to indict you, you're going to lose all that money. How are you going to pay for lawyers? I said you need bank accounts in at least 20 countries. I was proven absolutely correct. Because Romania got hold of quite a lot of banks, but not all of them. Which is why we've managed to pay for our lawyers, how we've managed to live the life we've lived, still enjoy a nice house arrest, food, children are paid for, mother's on a jet, everything's fine.
Andrew Tate is so stupid saying this publicly. Like, it's just so shocking how this guy will snitch on himself. Like, just shocking. And knowing the police are after him, investigating him, like, he's fucking crazy.
Imagine we only had money in one Romanian bank account. How would we have survived for these last 3 years without a single penny of our own money? The UK government yesterday just stole 21 million pounds of our money. You cannot live in a world now.
Misunderstanding.
Oh yeah, misunderstanding.
I misheard them.
Sit back and relax.
Yeah.
You cannot live anymore as a full-grown man with all of your money within inside of one jurisdiction because the jurisdictions have become absolutely corrupt.
So Andrew Tate's answer for this is that he has to pay his lawyers. He's got ongoing legal fees. I believe a bunch of his money in the UK was seized as well. He had bank accounts frozen there. If America, Romania, and all these different countries that he's having legal problems in seize his money, he's got nothing to pay his lawyers to even fight the case. And Andrew Tate's lawyer's recent argument is the passport that was exposed by CoffeeZilla and what people are seeing online is absolutely fake. It was just a prop, is what he said outside the court recently.
These jerk-offs put that in motion. Like, look, this is indicia of flight. It's a fake passport from a freaking James Bond costume from a party. These people are so retarded. Yeah, and if they're it doesn't even matter.
He was literally using it.
Where's the stamp? Where's the stamp on the fucking passport? There you go. There's no stamp. I've held the passport. Yeah, it is cardboard. Yeah. It's a prop.
Something that a good YouTuber exposed is one of the core components that the UK government is using as their evidence to keep Andrew and Tristan in this volatile prison where they're in solitary confinement. But this may have been faked. If you actually look at a part of it, Mexican officials communicated to the US law enforcement they're unable to find a record of ever having issued a passport in that name. It's not just that specific passport that...
Wait, you can't even react to Bloomberg because there's a gun in it? I forgot how insane YouTube is.
I don't want to risk it. I could get my channel banned.
EMS. This is also something else that was never talked about. The ambulance went to the wrong address, which is why there is such a long... Typically, an ambulance would be there in about 90 seconds at the most. There's, a fire station that close. They went to the wrong address. And you see this on the body camera footage
This is completely irrelevant. The guy was passed out, dead, going pale, and the officer still had his fucking knee on his neck. Like, it's just a completely irrelevant detail. Derek Chauvin, unjustly convicted of murder. Yeah, great. Elon Musk is a fucking retard. Maybe I should put my knee on Musk's neck and call an ambulance while he's suffocating. I didn't mean to kill him. I called an ambulance. Last 24 hours, all Republicans, life comes at you fast. My directive is halted up to 1,800 data center projects. Yes, Senator endorsing 1-year moratorium. Thanks, Dodo.
Obviously was a reference. They're talking about the wider issue of him having access to multiple passports. The US is preventing you from leaving. No problem. Here's my UK passport, is what he tweeted out to his war members. He said they need at least 2. If you've got 1, you're far. You need the ability to get through any border. And obviously there is many borders that will not extradite Andrew Tate back to the UK.
And all these people eat it up. Oh, they're getting persecuted. Meanwhile, you actually read the case against them and they open up Scorpius Ltd, Goose Famoose, The Cannon Run, and they allegedly don't pay taxes according to UK police. All the while, by the way, actually they are opening up fake bank accounts. You see, respondents' brothers have continued to open up financial accounts in the UK using UK identification and holding out their address to be there for business revenues and to launder funds. We don't care about victims. Just dress up in a nice suit. Just brag about what you did.
White women.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, breaking moments ago, the FBI says it disrupted a potential ISIS-inspired terror plot in New York. The agency tells Fox they've arrested a 35-year-old Albany woman accused of plotting to bomb the state capitol and kill lawmakers. According to a criminal complaint, Jessica Bowie pledged allegiance to ISIS and allegedly planned to hide a bomb inside a DoorDash bag, hoping to strike while state senators were meeting. Governor Kathy Hochul expected to speak next hour, where we could get more information about all of this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now to China, where a court has sentenced property tycoon Hui Ka-yan to life in prison for financial crimes linked to the collapse of his Evergrande real estate group. He pleaded guilty to multiple charges linked to his time at the head of the property giant, including financial fraud and misuse of funds. A court in Shenzhen also ordered that all of the former billionaire's assets be confiscated.
Hui Ka-yan, the founder of the property giant Evergrande, has been sentenced to life in prison after being convicted of multiple offences, including fund.
Okay, well.
The national debt just hit a record high, 40 trillion, yes, with a T, dollars. The number staggering, and it arrived sooner than predicted. The debt roughly doubling in less than 10 years. So what does all this mean to you? CNN's Matt Egan is here to break it all down for us. I guess the big question is, how is this going to impact Americans, and not just now, but potentially for the long run?
Yeah, Sarah, I mean, $40 trillion. This is another grim milestone. This number, it's so hard.
Gee, I wonder how SJWS will try to excuse that.
You know, they're just commies, so they won't even try to excuse it. They'll just say it's the right thing to do. Thanks, Dodo.
To even wrap your head around. It's just such a big number. Let's look at the live tracker of the national debt. You see just over $40 trillion. Now, if you broke that down per person, per every single person in the United States, it's almost $120,000. Just staggering. And when you look at this is a look at how fast it's growing. Almost $5 million per minute, Sarah. So just since we started talking, we've added about $5 million to the national debt, $285 million per hour, and almost $7 billion a day. And again, when you look at what this means per person, we're talking about $117,000 per person in the United States. We look at the trend for the national debt. Going back to the start of the century, it was around $6 trillion in the year 2000. But look at this. It has just skyrocketed since then. Why? Because of government spending, because of tax cuts, because of war after war after war, because in 2008, right around here, you had a once-in-a-century financial crisis. And then in 2020, we had a once-in-a-century pandemic. You put it all together, and yes, you get $40 trillion. Now, it's also true that the U.S. economy is a lot bigger today than it was back in 2000. That's why we like to look at debt to GDP. Now,
thanks for the gifted membership, Chris. Appreciate it.
even on that metric, though, things are moving in the wrong direction. Back in 1966, the debt was about 40% of the economy. 1996, 64%. But look at this. More than the entire size of the economy, and it's projected to go higher and higher. Now, one of the reasons the debt has gone up is because the United States has these aging demographics, right? Every single day, you've got about 10,000 baby boomers retiring, and that has forced the government to spend more on what? Social Security, right? So far this fiscal year alone, $1.4 trillion in Social Security, another $955 billion on Medicare. But this is not just about aging demographics. Look at
You can look at these fucking numbers, by the way. Like the biggest one, Social Security, 1.38 trillion. Like, again, we're talking about 40 trillion in national debt. Like, this only adds up to, like, what, 4 trillion? So most of the national debt is in private equity.
This net interest, this is essentially how much the government has to spend.
I don't give a fuck about Mommy Tang, dude.
Just to finance the mountain of debt. $931 billion just this fiscal year, on track to surpass $1 trillion. And what's really notable is, look at this. We're spending more to finance the debt than on the national defense, right? More money going to the creditors than on stealth bombers, on the war, on military paychecks. Why does this matter? Look, this is important because investors, they're starting to get a little bit more concerned about the national debt. We've seen bond prices sell off, and that has driven up treasury rates. And that's critical because treasuries, they are the benchmark for the cost of borrowing across the economy. So the higher treasury rates go, the more expensive it is to get a mortgage. And mortgages are already really expensive.
No, I'm using a Sennheiser microphone.
The more expensive it is to get small business loans, car loans as well. And of course, the more expensive it is for the government itself to borrow. So look, bottom line, this is clearly a mess. There's a lot of finger pointing.
They seem to hate spending on home improvement.
All right.
The national debt.
Meanwhile, Trump rewards Putin, Kim Jong-un for doing this. Grandson there, 7th floor. Woman hoped for the rescue of her loved one, but later, before her eyes, rescues carried out a body from the apartment. Screaming, yeah. Thanks, Dodo.
It's just be shameless, dude. And then at the end of it, you can just say, hey, they're attacking me. I'm a free speech man. And everybody flocks to your defense. So,
regardless if that passport was a prop or not, the Tate brothers' own words have openly said that they have multiple passports, so that is going to be used against him in terms of detaining them and not giving them bail. But also, they're not going to run out of money anytime soon. They actually said they protect their money in various countries, and just recently, for the first time, they had flew on a normal commercial flight and completely regretted it. It was acting like they got access to unlimited.
That's funny. Yeah, they're broke.
Money.
How important and famous an A-list I am. I asked for this, didn't I? Yeah. I should only be flying on private jets all the time. I told you. You kept saying jets. Tristan, it's a 45-minute flight. It leaves at exactly the right time. There's first-class seats.
Why is Trump deporting these people?
They experienced.
These 3 women are members of Ghana's LGBTQ+ community who fled persecution in their homeland and arrived in the U.S. in 2024. Immigration took them into custody, and they were granted legal protection that prevented U.S. authorities from sending them back to Ghana. Instead, they were deported to...
I'm assuming it's because they're gay and African. Thanks for the gift and membership again, dude. Do you support or oppose the following types of projects being built near where you live? Solar farm. Okay. People are about twice as likely to approve of coal plants being built nearby as opposed to data centers. It's just Chinese propaganda.
They're slippery little suckers.
There's one.
Tricky to find in a tank, even more mysterious in the wild, officially known as the Australian brook lamprey.
Lamprey species, there's about 50 of them throughout the planet, and most of them are parasitic. They suck onto the side of a fish and either eat some flesh or drink some blood. These guys are non-parasitic, so they're kind of like a vegan Dracula.
The Griffith University researcher first encountered the creepy critters on Gari in 2022.
We thought, oh no, they're just eels, and then we said, oh, no, they have 7 gills. Hang on a second, that's a lamprey.
He's since teamed up with Queensland Government scientist David Moffat, and they found 2 more as yet unnamed non-parasitic lampreys in different locations, including Coochin Creek on the Sunshine Coast under the Bruce Highway.
These animals aren't necessarily in remote locations, they're just very cryptic, they're very hard to see, and we're at the risk of silent extinctions where we have things go extinct that we didn't even know were existing.
They've received a $90,000.
The good old days when politicians were honest.
For John McCain in 2008, the debate was supposed to be a salvage operation, but it didn't work out that way.
Now, my old buddy Joe, the plumber's out there, if you don't adopt the health care plan that Senator Obama mandates, he's going to fine you.
I'm happy to talk to you, Joe, too, if you're out there. Here's your fine, $0. You won't pay a fine because as I said in our last debate, and I'll repeat, John, I exempt small businesses.
I was not on my game, and I have to admit that, and I have no real excuse for it.
Well, John McCain's a retard, but he's an honest retard. Like, the guy, you know, he was a soldier and he served in Vietnam, and like he even got captured by the Viet Cong and was tortured for a few years. Like, he, like, deep down he isn't like a bad guy. It's just, you know, he's a fucking dumbass kind of boomer, but yeah. Thanks, Dodo. Kid Vu. Let me see.
Ladies, a lot of y'all relationships will last long.
Don't fucking care. Don't care. Thanks, dude.
You don't need to buy $50,000 yet. We can just buy $100, $200, $300, $400 tickets, whatever they were, and be done.
The thing people get confused about with this ongoing case right now is the Tate brothers for ages have been asking to come to the UK, so why are they desperately avoiding it now? Because Tristan said stuff like this.
I am going to go back. I've heard that England have some criminal case on me. I'm going to fly my ass in there and knock on the door to Bedfordshire Police, say, what do you idiots want? After I've won everything else. Fuck them. I'm going to go back to England. You know, I'm an English person. I'm going to go back to my home country. And I'm not going to let propaganda or you know, corrupt police officers trying to make a name for themselves, or politicians who want to say my name in Parliament because they know it will go viral on X. It's their only chance to ever go viral. I'm not going to let those people scare me away from my birthright, which is the fact that I can travel in and out of the United Kingdom as and when I like as a British man.
At one point, Andrew Tate actually supported CoffeeZilla, said he was doing a really good job in the community for exposing Logan Paul for his crypto zoo scam and other things he was doing, but the things went wrong when Andrew Tate started to pump crypto himself, and that's where the dispute between these two started.
CoffeeZilla going at... So I think 5-6 days ago, it just starts going off on Coffee.
Oh, that's the cuck, right? Dodo. Okay. Those are nice cats.
I'm doing a 3-part wedding series where I show you all the things I learned planning a fully vegan wedding. On part 2, I'm going to show you how I curated a fully vegan menu with Basil Kitchen.
I don't really fucking care about her, dude. Thanks for the gift and membership again, Chris.
To evaluate the bills that are being sent in.
Yeah, and we know, I mean, do you guys remember back in July, there was a Canadian politician who was on the floor of the Canadian Parliament and was reading what he said was a draft of a bill that he was proposing. And as he continued to read, he said something like, here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative draft as opposed to, like he basically forgot to remove the I don't know what they call it, when AI is telling you, hey, how do you like this version that I've created for you? So we know that some people, at least in that particular case, are using it. You've worked with the Office of Legislative Counsel. I mean, have you seen errors like the one I just pointed out?
Yeah, so the Office of Legislative Counsel is this professional office. They have, each lawyer has 15, 20, 30 years of experience writing bills. And there are two parts to writing the bill. One is the getting the text right and knowing what other law you want to amend and change. And that's a technical problem that AI can't solve because they don't have access to the law as it is today. They just have text all over the last 200 years, right? And the second one is just a matter of judgment. And again, that's something that AI doesn't have that's built into lawyers. So, you can go today to ChatGPT and say, write me a law that does this following thing. And it'll have two problems with it. One is technical, it's not writing against the law that you have today. So it's making something up in a fictional U.S. law that doesn't exist. And the other is that it doesn't have that judgment sort of honed over 20 years of what's really going to make a good impact on U.S. society.
And Ari, I mean, AI does seem like an inevitable future. I mean, honestly, it's like an...
Well, further confirmation, politicians are fucking dumb.
And to...
Yeah, do you know like Mamdani's party?
Yeah.
Yes. You know what an NPOC is? So non-persons of color. So we look for people of color to put into elected offices, but the majority of our organization is white people, 85% white. Yeah. So we like puppet sort of brown and black people, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need your signature. We're mostly looking for white people.
Okay.
We're very pro-jihadists as well. So.
Okay.
Hey, it's Mike here, and today we're talking about the carnivore crash, how this diet movement...
I'm not going to bother watching. That's not a good video. Thanks, Dodo.
CoffeeZilla. He shows an email. CoffeeZilla says, hey, I'm doing an investigation on you and your relationship with crypto. Would you mind answering these questions for me? And it's fairly clear from the questions that CoffeeZilla got him dead to rights. So he's not very happy about it. And the reason he's questioning him is it has always been...
Why are the majority of commies I see on Twitter transgender people? Have you noticed this?
Because it's Twitter. Thanks, Flava.
very anti, like, coin in particular. Coins, he's adamantly opposed to it. I'll never do it. I don't need to rob my fans. Then all of a sudden he just starts saying, like, you know what the problem was with these coins? It's never done.
In other words, they may or may not have rug pulled.
Andrew Tate lost a lot of fans in this period. He said, imagine being such a great detective, you can't even detect a joke, DNG, and decided to pump crypto anyway, and obviously do rug.
Solving cancer will take jobs of hundreds of thousands of people employed in the medical field. Perhaps you should think about that first before being so pro-AI. That's nice.
Is a grifter, alleged human trafficker, and unfortunately, and this is true, a CoffeeZilla fan.
CoffeeZilla, who actually kind of respected and had a brain.
That is until I investigated him. Now he's having a meltdown and...
What the hell? Shut up. Water. Hey, hey, she on water. What the heck? Oh, shit. Hey, she trying to take out. She finna take out shit. Oh, shit.
Defeated man looks like. Take a look.
Think this is normal? You work all day and then hide out here instead of being inside.
10 minutes apiece.
doesn't like me anymore.
This is my statement to you, CoffeeZilla. You're a nobody's scared of your investigation. I don't give a about your video. I don't respect your journalism.
The thing that CoffeeZilla did is damage completely Andrew Tate's reputation. For years, he was saying he would never rip off his audience like Logan Paul, and he was going to do right by everyone, and he pumped a bunch of cryptos, and CoffeeZilla was the best person to investigate this and expose it.
You focus on your tasks, then you can invest that money in the real world token and get paid every single month a monthly dividend from the profits of the school.
All right. I think I get it. So you got the people at the bottom, they're paying up into the course, into the school. Then you got the people higher with higher power levels. They're making money from people at the bottom with the coin. And then all that money flows up. It's just kind of this nice little pyramid scheme.
What 20 milligram test sip a day does to a man? Do I look good? What is the next step, my lord? I'm not watching that fucking dumb TikTok video. Thanks, Cora.
Come to think of it, it is a little surprising that Tate claims to be working hand in hand with the SEC on this.
I am working with the SEC so that the real world token can be launched as a security.
Now, maybe that is all true, but maybe Tate actually has another plan.
SEC, come from me. I'm in Romania. There ain't no SEC in Romania. We're scammers. We're out here doing what we want. I'm gonna pump a coin up, make 10M.
peel it off.
One thing people have said a lot since Andrew Tate has got arrested is stepped up a bit now. There was a van driving around London, but the support seems nowhere near as much this time round. It's because stuff that CoffeeZilla exposed, and Andrew Tate went on a absolute run against CoffeeZilla after he was doing that investigation, saying that he would ruin him. He even leaked his email address.
CoffeeZilla is a bitch. This is my statement to you, CoffeeZilla. You're a fucking pussy. I guarantee I drink more coffee than you, meaning you're a fraud to begin with. You're doing this little breakdown, this investigation. You just emailed me in a homosexual tone saying, oh, I want to ask questions about this coin, this coin. You really think you're going to do a fucking investigation into the fact that meme coin prices go up and down and all the retards and the real niggers in the trenches are going to agree with you? Of course they go up and fucking down. It's meme coins. Nobody cares. I'm not Logan Paul. I'm not somebody who is already hated and everyone's looking for a reason to jump on the bandwagon. I'm built different. I'm loved. Nobody likes you. Nobody's scared of your fucking investigation. Your emails sound gay. I accidentally leaked your email address. Now everyone's calling you fucking gay. I regret nothing I've ever done. Suck my daddy to the fucking moon. Patriot built different. What's for my person to win? CoffeeZilla's broke. Don't fuck with Tate.
The truth is about crypto is it's player versus player. If I buy a coin for $1, the only reason I can sell it for $10 is because someone else buys it for 10. It can't go up forever. The guy who buys it at 10 is going to lose. And I have to understand that.
Use his referral link so he can make.
Okay, the rest of this video is just bullshit.
Many of you guys have already noticed, but when I was in Syrian Iraq, I was in a Marxist anarchist group. And of course, many of us joined not because of the ideology, but because they were the only ones fighting against ISIS. But nonetheless, there's a lot of similarities between my experience, 2 years of experience, in a group like that, and the PLA, the armed branch of the CCP, that might be invading Taiwan soon. The first similarity that I can speak on is the 40% rule, which I had in the YPG, as well as the PLA has today. 40% of the military training that they have is ideology training. It is training to indoctrinate them and make them completely loyal and disciplined to the party. Now, when I was in the YPG, it kind of made sense. This is the Middle East. They have a lot of religious and cultural reasons to keep women outside of politics and the military and overall just being active participants in society. So it made sense in that framework. But when it comes to the PLA, this indoctrination training is more of a fear of theirs because the military, the PLA, is just the armed branch of the CCP. Just like the Kurdish groups I was in, although I was not in the PKK, that is kind of the ideological framework we worked under. And the PKK is just a political organization. And the HEPIGA and the YPG and all these groups underneath it are subsidiaries of that ideology.
I played Resident Evil 2, the remake, for the first time recently. It's my favorite horror game. What do you think of it? Which Resident Evil game is your favorite?
It's a good game. My favorite Resident Evil game so far has been RE9, and then a very close second is RE4 remake. Thanks, Killing Titan.
We did not work with the PKK, just saying. Now, the way that the PLA works is that they have a dual command system where they have a military...
No, I don't have herpes.
General who is in charge of the military training and ordering the troops to do different stuff. But then there's an equal counterpart, which is the political commissar. And his job is to indoctrinate the troops. So in the YPG and the YBS, we had cadres, which are people that are completely committed to the party, that are making sure that all the training that we do, all the actions of the troops are aligned with the ideology. And they dedicate their life to this ideology. They burn their passports, they go to the mountains, and they never return. And I'm not done talking about that connection, but I do want to go into the military stuff now. And there's so many rumors about how advanced the Chinese military is, how good training they have. But I think that most of it is based off of the propaganda that they put out, which we're going to speak on, as well as their state-of-the-art military technology, which has not been proven in combat, which we're also going to talk about, based on their own reports, their own fears. And one of the points that the PLA commonly quotes, which is an internal critique, which also goes external, which is why we have it, is that the mid-level commanders freeze up when given an unscripted battle plan. So they just don't know how to operate. Their NCO corps is pretty dog. They cannot judge the situation. They cannot understand superiors' intentions. They can't make operational decisions, deploy troops well, or deal with unexpected situations. And this goes directly with the propaganda. A lot of the PLA soldiers on the PLA Daily, as well as other accounts, complain that the training that they have is heavily scripted and they wish that they had Western type training. And of course, these 5 cannots is not going to go well when you're on a beach. Now, to speak about the amphibious force, which would invade Taiwan, one thing that people are forgetting is that the bulk of that amphibious force are 2-year conscripts. Yeah, most of them are dragged out of college or right before college and sent over as Marines to train for 2 years, where 40% of the training is indoctrination. And I think that's where the connection from the CCP to the PLA has its most obvious intention. Most of the troops are pulled before college or during college to go and serve their 2 years, where most of the training is ideology. They're trying to indoctrinate the working class and make sure that they are aligned with the CCP. That's the purpose of their military. No matter how much technology they have or whatever propaganda they have, the purpose is to brainwash them. Now, the next thing that they commonly quote, as well as Xi Jinping, the PLA complains a lot about these peace officials leading peace soldiers. Nobody has combat experience. And the last combat experience they had in Vietnam didn't go too well. It was very embarrassing for them. Now, that was 50, 60 years ago. Of course, times have changed, but the root cause of their failure there hasn't changed. They are peacetime generals and soldiers. They've never experienced combat, and they know that their training being led by the political commissar and the CCP is not going to help them on the battlefield of Taiwan if they go there. The next thing that they commonly quote is something called the flower frames, which you could probably expect it has to do with the propaganda. The soldiers are complaining that the Red Force always wins. It's like a 90% win rate, and it's because they're the ones attacking. And the Blue Force, the Op 4, is just gonna sit there and take it. And it's because it's scripted, and they all know it's scripted, and they complain about it. They know that when the generals come, they have to give a good showing of their capabilities, and it's also for videography. They make it a Hollywood-level film set in order to look good on the camera and put fear into Taiwan or Philippines. But there's a famous case where in Zurich, which I don't know if I pronounced that right, but they wanted a Blue Force that was actually going to engage them like Western troops. And when they did that, they routinely slaughtered all the PLA units, the Red Force, which really highlights the purpose of them being in the military. It's all about ideology. It's all about propaganda. It's not about training. And another cause of this is that when conscripts die, especially in training accidents, it's not a good look, and they don't know how to deal with that. So they keep everything very safe. Whenever you see the propaganda videos, it's always flat terrain. There's no rain. The weather's perfect.
Today, I'm going to be asking 100 guys one question.
From 1 to 100, what would you rate yourself?
Why do you think I'd give 2 fucks about a stupid ass fucking video like that?
So we are here with the victim.
Don't fucking care. Great.
And it's not just for the film, it's because of safety. They really value safety over training. You know, there's multiple times when I was in the Marine.
Favorite song right now? Not really sure. Favorite new song I found is Dweller of the Threshold from Foreign.
Marine Corps, people were shot on a range. They were shot because we had overhead machine gun fire. It was just friendly fire. People die during this all the time. They don't have that problem in China. It's because things are scripted and they only train when it's not raining, when it's not bad weather. They are artificially lowering the difficulty, but if for anybody who's been in combat before, you know that it's always going to be the most difficult when you get to combat. The 5 cannots that they're dealing with is the worst case scenario, as well as the bad training. Xi Jinping and the leadership, the generals there, are the ones that are coining these terms. And you can see it today with the Rocket Force, one of their military branches, where the leadership was fired for corruption and just not being able to do the job. There's also micro-corruption, where the troops, in order to get more leave days or to take a break or whatever, they'll offer their commanders cigarettes or liquor, and they'll then get more leave days. The leadership knows that they're in a good place. They're just conscripts. They don't train them well. They don't let them shoot. They just give them ideology training and give me a couple cigarettes as long as you're going to be here the next day. And a lot of this information is coming from Chinese Reddit. They're the ones reporting on this stuff. They're complaining about pulling weeds, not triggers. And that's exactly where we want to go and see.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually going to invade Taiwan, which is good because, I mean, steroids will still come here. Said before, Carney is way more corrupt than Trump. How so? Just look at what he's done. Literally everything he's done in office is to enrich himself. Literally. He has not made a single decision that's just based off of improving the nation in any conceivable way. Every single decision he's made is just to funnel money to his Brookfield investment firm. Thanks, Freaky Creepy.
see them. You know, the YPG, we're not imperialist, we're anti-imperialist. That's the reason that I joined. But when it comes to the CCP and the PLA as their armed branch, they have imperialist dreams now, and it's just sad to see. They could be an incredible force for good, but instead they're flaunting their propaganda everywhere, and they're trying to invade different countries that don't want them there. And that's the difference. Although they're both Marxist, they're very different. So given all the problems that they are saying on Reddit, as well as the PLA Daily, you could probably assume, as well as what's written inside there, that there's an NCO retention problem, especially with where we are with the age of warfare, where every couple months there's a new leap in technology that's going to have an impact on the battlefield. You have to have NCOs that are willing to stay. But they aren't willing to stay. Their training, their pay, their leadership is awful. They have a terrible time in their units. So for that reason, many of them are leaving. The ones that are trained, that have been there for a while, that understand a capability, and then they leave and they, go work at a factory or something, which is not good if you're trying to develop the technology. So yeah, they can make tons of different stuff. They have factories, they have all the production, manufacturing, perfect. But they don't have the NCOs and the small unit leaders that are willing to stay the long term in order to see that technology through and then train their guys and get rid of this peace disease. So in closing, the PLA and the Xi Jinping, they openly recognize something they say as the two gaps, which is that the PLA is incompatible with winning modern wars, and with that, they're incompatible with fulfilling its historic missions of retaking Taiwan, taking over the South China Sea. So I just want to mention this because there's a lot of propaganda that China spews, and I think a lot of people, especially in Asia, are buying it. And of course, you shouldn't underestimate your enemy. They do have the technology that they're showing, but their military has problems. They have the same problems that you might complain about in your military. And from my experience in a group that is quite similarly structured, I have to say that there was problems. Was I complaining that I was doing ideology training before going to combat against ISIS, which never happened because we had so much ideology training? Yes, we were complaining about it. We thought that it wasn't the time to do that, and we see in Chinese Reddit, as well as PLA Daily, that they're thinking the same thing. Why are we about to go to war, potentially, but our training is weak, it's scripted, we're not getting the right training, our leadership doesn't know what to do, we have the 5 canuts. These are points that just have to be made, and I want to give my 2 cents coming from the background that I.
Yeah, the Chinese would probably just get obliterated if they tried to invade Taiwan. Completely obliterated. Now, this is some of the dumbest shit imaginable.
In California very shortly that could reshape how billions of us use social media.
It's being called the largest consumer protection lawsuit in American history, bigger than cases brought against big tobacco more than 2 decades ago.
It's going to be massive if indeed this goes through. And it's going to have a huge impact on the company.
The clear distinction here with this lawsuit and with the other lawsuits, thousands of them, in fact, that are being brought in the US at the moment, that Meta and other tech companies knowingly profited from harm.
It would mean perhaps that social media becomes a little more boring for lots of us, which might make us feel a little bit better because actually we might not be trapped in those loops quite so often.
There should be an end to the scroll, but also I don't know if it would really work.
I think more controls would definitely make it better.
I think the main takeaway from this trial is that US states are saying that we need to regulate or change the design of these platforms and not just the content that we see.
So this is a major social media trial that is taking.
None of this makes any goddamn fucking sense at all. So 1, no kids are forced to use social media. 2, parents can stop their kids from using social media. And 3, like the fundamental argument here is that social media is built in a way that's made to be like fun and engaging and encourage people to use it. And that's a problem. Like, okay, so does that mean like if a video game is fun and it's somehow harming kids in some way, where they're not doing their homework or something, you get to sue the company for making a product that people want to use? Like, can we sue McDonald's and candy companies because kids think the food tastes good and it's making them fat and their parents are, like, too stupid to fucking moderate what their kids eat? Like, this is the dumbest fucking shit imaginable.
Place in the United States. The tech giant Meta is accused of deliberately designing some of its platforms to be addictive to its young users. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, is also accused of misleading the public. Meta strongly denies the claims, which it called unsubstantiated. They said the evidence will show their long-standing commitment to supporting young people. But if they lose, the trial could cost the company hundreds of billions of dollars. Joining me is our senior technology reporter, Chris Valens. Chris, why is this trial taking place?
Well, I think around the
because some dumbass lawyers with a retarded legal theory think they can make fucking money. There's no rational basis for this lawsuit.
world, we've seen growing concern about the impact of social media on children, and that has certainly been a very active and in many cases bipartisan debate in the US. In this case, what we're seeing is, in a sense, a sort of a new high watermark in that challenge as it goes through the courts, with 29 US states involved in this legal action, which effectively says
I think I
that
drink more coffee than a weirdo like Andrew Tate. You know, coffee's great, especially after a big meal. Just feels good drinking coffee.
Meta's product was, if you like, faulty by design. There were features in it that were designed to be addictive and were harmful to the company's most vulnerable users, in this case, children.
And these children don't have parents that care about them, so yeah. Gotta sue Facebook because parents aren't expected to parent their children anymore.
Of course, these are, of course, claims that Meta strongly denies and will fight strongly in court.
Tea's also really nice. I really like black tea. Black tea with lots of sweetener. Yeah, black tea is the best tea. You know, I've still got to get matcha. I was drinking matcha with moringa when I was in Australia with Pat. That shit's good. Gotta order some. Every time I go to the store, they only have like plain matcha or some like weird, dumb, fake matcha blend thing for normies. And they have like sugar and coconut oil and stuff in it. Just weird crap. Gotta order some matcha moringa off Amazon or something.
Well, the trial stems from a lawsuit filed in 2023. Dozens of US states filed the federal lawsuit. They allege that Meta incorporated harmful features on Instagram and Facebook to drive engagement among young users, to boost profits, and then misled the public about it. This trial, which is set to last for 6 weeks, features 4 of those US states as plaintiffs. So that's California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey. They want Meta to change the algorithms and to end autoplay. We'll have more on that shortly. But this isn't the first trial against social media companies.
How in the fuck can you mandate a private company to change how their algorithm works? Like, the only thing that would make sense is if they're collecting data on children. Like, that would be violating electronic privacy laws. But, yeah, like, this makes no fucking sense.
Our technology correspondent, Lily Jamali, explains.
A high-profile trial in Los Angeles this year, where a jury granted a 20-year-old California woman $6 million on claims Instagram and Google's YouTube harmed her mental health. And in New
You can just not use it. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, this is so stupid. You can just stop using it.
Mexico, the Attorney General recently convinced a jury Meta deliberately endangered children, prompting nearly $1 billion in fines. Meta is appealing, but a judge has...
Dude, this is like actually psychotic.
Ordered more rigorous age rules and a stop to overnight push notifications for users under 18.
Chris is still with us. Chris, there have been other lawsuits that Meta have faced. What makes this one different?
Well, I mean, this comes less than 2 weeks after one of those lawsuits in which a court in New Mexico, the judge there described the platform, the company's products as, if you like, a public nuisance, like air pollution. I think with this case, you've got a similar kind of logic. It's a product safety issue, if you like, but the stakes are so much higher. I mean, Meta...
Just don't have your kids use social media.
Is trying to claim that, you know, the potential costs, the potential fines could run to one...
We're literally living in a society now where parents aren't expected to parent their children. Like, we are so fucked.
$1.4 trillion. The attorney generals, the states, put that at a much lower figure.
It's like me suing Barnes and Noble because I couldn't stop reading books and it ruined my life and hurt my mental health, and it's their fault because they have a children's book section that is addictive. They need to change how books are placed out in stores.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, we have a society with a serious lack of personal accountability. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
200 billion. But either way, the changes to the platform and the potential fines mean that, you know, even if it's not an existential issue, it's likely to change the company, and if it loses.
This is a case that involves US states, but it's worth saying that countries have also tried to legislate against these social media companies. Let's take you through some of them. In December 2025, Australia became the world's first country to ban social media for children under 16, blocking them from platforms including TikTok, YouTube.
Didn't this only manage to get 20% of children to stop using? It's like completely ineffectual.
And Meta's Instagram and Facebook. In June of this year, the then Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, announced plans to approve a ban on social media for under 16s here in the UK by Christmas, with the measure set to take effect around spring 2027. In the same month, Canada proposed a social media ban for children and teenagers under the age of 16, with a workaround for tech firms. They have to demonstrate that they have policies in place to minimise harms to minors. In August, France's top court...
It's called parenting.
...blocked a bill banning social media access for under 15s, saying it infringed upon freedom of expression. France's parliament had approved the ban in July amid growing concerns about online bullying and mental health risks.
Yeah, it's called parenting.
Chris, why are some countries...
Like, by the way, this idea that kids have absolutely no agency is, like, just fucking retarded. If you're, like, a 14-year-old kid, let's say, and you're getting harassed and bullied on social media, what's the logical thing to do? Don't use it. Delete your account. Block the people who are annoying you. Like, why would you engage with people who are frustrating you? Why would you watch content that makes you, like, feel bad? Like, if you are, like, I don't know, looking through fucking Facebook and you're getting, like, recommended things you don't like maybe just don't watch it, click the button, you're not interested, and just watch cat videos or something, like... It's so insane. Dodo, meanwhile, companies can sell cigarettes and they don't get sued when people die of lung cancer from them, and even though it's a bigger societal problem because of the burden on healthcare system and insurance. We live in crazy, retard, dum-dum land where absolutely nothing makes any sense, dude. Thanks, Dodo.
Who's bringing in these bans, do you think?
Well, again, I think it really follows from this concern and the degree of popular concern that there is about the impact of these platforms on child's well-being, on children's well-being. I think the interesting question is we're seeing these bans brought into force around the world. They're very different in flavour in many cases. There are a lot of unanswered questions. And in some respects, the best evidence for whether these bans work.
Yes, I engage with people who frustrate me because I can benefit from it. I make money doing this. And if it bothered me so much, I'd either not do it anymore, I'd just, I don't know, stream video games or something, or just do the workout streams. I do ban people who irritate me too much. So, like, again, I'm a fucking adult who can make my own fucking decision. Even if I was an adult, I was 15, guess what? I could make the same fucking decisions. You can make your own cost-benefit analysis on, you know, is it worth it to me? Am I getting something out of it? You know, versus some of the downsides. But no, we have to have the government completely control our lives. We need to live in a fascist communist shithole. Dodo, let's watch this.
Hi friends, over the past 5 years, my team and I have...
Yeah, we can watch that. And this.
Jason Erday was...
How Cambridge fell for Jason Erday. I don't need to watch this. Cambridge didn't fall for Jason Erday. They were just ideologically aligned with him, and they covered for his bullshit fucking lies, even though everyone knew he was a fraud. So that's all there is to it. These colleges are just fucking commie cesspits. So that I don't really need to see that. Thanks though, Dodo.
Don't forget all these sob stories of kids committing suicide because someone said something mean online.
I think the thing, I was suicidal pretty much most of my life up until only a couple years ago. The thing that kept me going and choosing not to commit suicide was my hatred for other people. And I just wanted, like, revenge. I would, like, think of all the people I hate, and if I killed myself, how they'd, like, laugh and just go on about their lives. I would always think that, you know, if I die, then, you know, they'd be the ones who are satisfied, so I have to make sure that I keep living so that I can get, like, some kind of revenge on them, because I hate them. So I think if you just end your life because people are mean to you, I think you just have a weak, pathetic mindset. Thanks, though, Dodo.
Actually,
have measured almost everything there is to measure, but my personal experiments have always had one major limitation: me. Everything we've done has come from a single male subject. Women experience dramatically different biological changes across every month, every life stage, and almost every system of the body. So this year, we're beginning our most ambitious experiment yet. Kate Tolo.
One of the biggest issues with studying women's health is women are completely and utterly full of shit. You'll notice that most of the people who claim to experience chronic pain syndromes are women. There's a reason for that. They just make up shit and complain, and they're overly neurotic, and they just imagine that they have a problem when they don't have it. So it makes it extremely difficult to do a lot of health research on women just because they're fucking insane.
Is about to become the most measured female in history. That's an awkward wave. She's going to spend the next several months doing exactly the same thing every day while we measure hundreds of biomarkers across every phase of her menstrual cycle. In summary, this experiment will cover 1,900 biomarkers, 16 biological systems, 14.8 million data points, over 50 different devices. The annual cost, $2.6 million.
My entire apartment got redone. This doesn't fit in here.
Watching someone else do this, abide with me, is very different than doing this yourself. Yeah, it's a lot.
There's 100 things, like, I'm not even present to it. Yeah, like, it's just, like, so much.
Kate, how are you feeling about this?
I feel like I've...
Anthony Edwards ordered to pay $14K a month in child support, secure $2.6 million life insurance policy. Well, these black dudes are like fucking retarded. They're warned beforehand that these women are gold digging fucking whores, and then they just... Why the fuck do they even get married in the first place? Like, it's just fucking psychotic. Yeah, he deserves it. He's a dumbass. You know, thanks, Kid Boo.
I'm in preparation mode for the last 4 months, and I'm finally ready to take it on.
This has been a really big lift. I mean, it took 5 years and a team of doctors to build out my protocol, and we've done yours in 90 days.
One of my favorite moments of this whole experience was revealing my longevity clinic to you. This doesn't fit in here. Everything's fine.
This tour has turned out to be a banger. Something just fell in there. Do we need to check if someone got injured?
You've seen me like oscillating between feeling not ready, ready, panicked, joy.
Why do you say DHT is good when it causes excess sebum production and acne? That's a cool story, dude. I love hearing cool stories.
Excited, and then I feel like I'm finally ready. Look at my updated schedule.
It's so formal with the clipboard. You can see how beautifully designed this is. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I have nothing of the sort. It's all in my head.
Every single second is accounted for, and I have become an experiment that is being observed at every moment. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of days.
She has, in a given day, 100 plus things to do. You're basically trying to structure your time to say, how can you get through those things as fast as possible?
Yeah, and if DHT caused acne, then why the hell have I never had any acne on fucking steroids, despite my DHT levels going through the fucking roof? Why are dudes literally taking DHT as a performance-enhancing drug and then not having acne? Why is it that women are often more prone to acne than men, even though their DHT levels are fucking rock bottom? Like, you people are fucking idiots.
Watching someone else do this is very different than doing this yourself.
The first thing I do when I wake up is I'm in bed. I have my little nook set up over here. Come have a look. I obviously have to take out my Techno tampon. Come have a look at this device. So I actually sleep with this inserted, this then taped to my leg using masking tape.
Women have not been able to measure their arousal cycles. And it happens in the female body every single night, just like a man's body.
But this is Brian's version of an erection monitor. I don't have like the luxury.
That looks unpleasant.
Of small wireless Bluetooth data offloaded thing. It's this beast. Like, it's a very complicated device.
The level of readiness for the world to measure men versus women is captured in that. The device for a man, small, easy, consistent. For a female, a gigantic device, 16 different things to change. So that kind of captures the entire project of like where the differences are between measuring men and women.
Yes. It is incredibly difficult to measure women in a rigorous way according to our current scientific standards for randomized controlled trials. So you can start to see just how difficult this gets to put into practice. When I masking taped it to my leg...
What kind of tape do you have?
It was just masking tape. It's not a good...
Do you have...
Tren has made it easier for me to sleep. It's very easy to ignore cyberbullying. Just hit the block button. They're never going to meet you face to face anyway, cowards. Well, yeah, they're just dumbasses. Like, fundamentally, this is just a problem with stupid people. Stupid people aren't able to make any kind of sound, rational, self-interested decisions, and as is typical, stupid people also don't understand how these sorts of lawsuits and everything could affect their rights and freedoms. So, again, let's get the government involved in our everyday fucking lives and telling us what to do, what to say, how to think. You know, like, it's just retarded. This is why we need eugenics. Like, the only solution to stupid people is to literally breed them out of the fucking population. They're just gonna destroy the fucking society.
Oh. Oh no. What is it? Oh no. Oh no.
But I was like, I didn't want to put something around my entire leg because I didn't want to cut off my circulation.
Yeah.
And then I woke up in the morning and this was obviously...
Okay, we get this place. Yeah, it's true.
It's just like...
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's 100 things like this.
Yeah.
You know, and like nobody's gonna be able to know besides me, like the level of
Yeah.
At the end of the day, once I start, it's on me.
Yeah. Given the number of things that Kate is doing, I feel very empathetic to a female.
She's whining and crying while she's dating a mega millionaire and doesn't have to worry about shit. Yeah, women. Oh my god.
Mel's experience. Even just like in very practical.
Dude, like, it's just like, this is why don't ever worry about trying to make a woman happy. There is nothing you can fucking do to make a woman happy. This chick doesn't have to work a fucking job. She can do whatever the fuck she wants all day. Doesn't have to worry about shit. All her money is taken care of right now. I have to exercise and eat things and be measured. Oh, fucking kill me. Yeah.
Experience. Even just like in very practical things, like how well quantified are females relative to men? Not as much. How much data is there on females?
I enjoy your streams, VG. The more I improve my life feeling strong and making money, I see a lot of women are just horrible and absolutely shit. Just send them to another planet and leave the good ones.
The problem is women are coddled in society and they're never forced to emotionally mature past like the age of 9. So most adult women you meet, they're literally fucking spoiled 9-year-olds. Thanks for the donation though, Strong Green.
Relative to men, not as much.
It's really overwhelming.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I understand.
Do you know why you're so excited about the female experiment? I feel like you got your hands into it and then you were like, whoa, there's this whole other world. Put this on your nose.
Oh no.
It's very sore.
We talk about adventurous things like going to the moon and like doing big things, but like what about understanding the female body? Why isn't that a gigantic ambition for society? Man, that's a lot. That alone is a lot, right? It is.
That's nice.
No, it's true.
There's really nothing to understand. They just complain about everything. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing fundamentally different. They just whine and complain.
It's significant. I don't do that. Now, a lot of people will say, like, this is just Kate. It's a limited view. But you know what? It's an entry point to this larger thing of, like, how do you measure the female body? And given the number of things that Kate is doing, I think it's possible we don't really have good intuitions about the female body.
Do you want to come try a vibration plate?
Abide with me, fast falls even.
Don't you find it attractive when...
Oh, I thought that was going to be something really stupid.
Don't you find it attractive when women or your GF are vulnerable like that and you can comfort them though? Or does that turn you off and make you dislike them?
Entirely depends on the context. Like, I don't want to date a fucking child who will just, like, freak out and cry and break down at, like, the littlest, stupidest thing. So, it kind of depends. Thanks for the donation, dude. Dodo. Heard too many talking points from anti-communists, like how the Bolsheviks were worse than Hitler. Which makes me assume that these people are Nazis. Doesn't matter if they don't support Nazism, but when you say shit like Stalin was worse than Hitler, you're a Nazi, blah, blah, I don't fucking care. This guy's a retard. Thanks, Dodo.
This is amazing.
Well, that was pretty cool. Well, thanks for showing me around. You know, this is fun. Can I sleep over?
Right. I would love that. Well, remember, my agreement is that I get 3 nights of sleep in the same bed as you. If I complete this protocol,
yeah.
I get 3 nights in the same bed as you.
Deal.
It's like forcing me to work or not will be the bands themselves. So there's certainly...
Women are not more empathetic than men. They have way bigger tendencies towards sociopathy and narcissism. So that's not even remotely fucking true.
A widespread global move in this direction.
And do you think they are effective?
I think from what we see, they certainly do result in the removal of hundreds of thousands of accounts from children. But the evidence from the first place to sort of introduce one of these bans, Australia, is that there's also quite a degree of circumvention. Now, you know, as I've said, it's a work in progress, and there are different approaches and different standards, different strengths of rule, if you like. But that's certainly going to be a question, the effectiveness of all this, given that it does deprive children of something that they find, in many cases, valuable and rewarding.
Well, if Meta loses, it could force fundamental changes to the way young people experience social media. Our reporter, Ben Henley, has been looking at that.
The states want changes to some fundamental features on Facebook and Instagram, like stories and like counts. And they want changes to the algorithm to see an end to infinite scrolling.
What's your sort of screen time in an average week, would you say?
In a week? It's probably like 6 hours a day.
Yeah, I like stories because I like that they're not up there forever. There should be an end to the scroll, but also, I don't know if it would really work.
You really should consider challenging this guy to a debate and try to explain to him that Stalin was in fact worse than Hitler.
Why would I bother wasting my time? Thanks, Dodo.
Work. I feel like people would find something else, because then you've got TikTok and like other things would just introduce the scroll. I can't think of one thing that it's good for.
I think more controls would
Then don't use it.
definitely make it better, because like when it comes to me, I've always...
Like, this just shows you your average person is a fucking retard. Like, if I'm waiting for something, like, I don't know, I'm waiting for mail to arrive or some shit, and I'm, like, on my front porch. Like, yeah, I'll just look around on social media, I'll scroll through some things, and then, like, that's it. It's not something I do for, like, actual entertainment. You know, I'll watch a bunch of videos on topics that I'm interested in. Might be firearms, might be training, might be steroids, motorcycles, cars, martial arts, you know, you name it. Or I'll watch a movie, or I'll watch a cartoon show or something that I like. But, like, I don't use social media really like that scrolling feature in autoplay. That's not my entertainment. It's just, like, something you do for 10 minutes here or there when, like, you're in a situation where there's nothing better to do. But, like, these idiots, like, you'll hear, I doom scroll for hours. It's like, why the like, really? You can't think of anything better to do? Nothing. You can't read. You can't, like, even watch educational fucking videos or something that's, like, even moderately fucking entertaining and mentally stimulating, like even a fucking like television series. You just scroll through social media for fucking hours and get hooked on it. Like, you're actually a fucking retard.
Always been on social media for a very long time, but I recently started realizing how much of myself I'm putting out there.
A lot of my friends have also kind of like stopped using Instagram so much because it was kind of like taking over their lives. It's been a kind of conscious decision, I think.
Like, again, you're a fucking retard. The only shit I see on Instagram is, like, animal videos and maybe some stuff from people that I follow, like, you know, bodybuilders or something. or like vegan activists. How the fuck does Instagram take over your fucking life? Like, these people are retards.
To kind of like wind down that sort of interaction.
Right now, this case is just in the US, but its outcome will likely have ramifications around the world.
Thanks to Ben. We'll have to see how this...
Just dumb as shit. I hope that lawsuit goes nowhere. That's like just fucking insane.
The time. Serial killers didn't disappear. They just evolved into mass shooters. Sounds neat. It's the kind of theory that makes for a good headline or a YouTube video. And you know what? I get why people think that. I mean, the timelines seem to line up. Look at this. As serial killings fell off, mass shootings skyrocketed. But, I mean, does that really mean one became the other? That a Bundy in the 1970s is just a Columbine in the 90s? That's the question I want to sit with today. Did one monster evolve into the other? Did the golden age of serial killer give way to the age of the mass shooter?
No, Brian Johnson.
That's the theory. But is it really true? Hey, welcome to Breakfast Cereal. If you've been following along, you know I've been building a series asking, where did all the serial killers go? What killed the so-called golden age of serial killers? You know, that strange, terrifying stretch in the 70s and 80s when it felt like Bundy, Dahmer, and the, Hillside Stranglers were just everywhere all at once. Each episode, I pick apart a different theory. The last one I did was on lead poisoning. How something as boring as paint chips and gasoline fumes might have rewired an entire generation's brains and left us swimming in violence. If you haven't seen that one, I'd recommend checking it out. And you know what? I'm going to put all of these episodes as that serial killers didn't go away at all. Showed in the intro. Everybody seems to love a good graph. Okay, so serial killings peak in the late 70s and early 80s. And mass shootings explode in the 90s and beyond. The lines cross, and people point at it and they say, hey, look, there it is. There's that proof. One became the other. But come on, hold on. You really gonna buy that? You believe that Ted Bundy just kind of sat around in the 90s, saw the rise of AOL and thought, maybe it's time to swap strangling for semi-automatics? Because, that's basically what this graph is saying. Charts are neat, but people aren't neat. They're messy, irrational, compulsive. And that's where the theory starts to break down. Think about the pacing of violence. A mass shooting is over in minutes. 10, maybe 15, maybe an hour maybe, kind of max. And more often than not, the shooter's dead at the end. Serial killers, on the other hand, operate over years. Bundy killed for nearly a decade. Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, he confessed to 2 decades worth of killings. Good old BTK, that guy stretched his murders across 30 years. So does that feel like the same type of predator to you? If a mass shooting is dynamite, then a serial killer is like arsenic. Different rhythms, different drives. Which off period.
Yeah, boring.
Let us make vegan chicken wings by these 2 little secrets. And it's not the carrots, though I'm a very crazy vegan chef, so I'm going to use this carrot as the bones. The first door is not rested enough. It has to look like the second one. Look at it. It needs to be super smooth. Even when you cut it inside, just look at that. When you wrap it around the carrot, it's elastic. That's what you are looking for. Please don't forget the 7 gun. What will be the world without the 7 gun? And I really want this to look like chicken wing, but you don't have to go through that stress. Now, the second secret is the starch water. In this mixture, guys, I used starch water. Then from that starch mixture, then they dry, and then we dunk it in ice cold water. Just dunk it, take it out quickly, again in the dry, and then in the deep hot. I mean, come on. EDP.
This guy's annoying. Think about buying this for your workout stream. Yeah, this looks like a piece of garbage. Yeah, that's a nice piece of garbage. This is only in the US as well. If you were to get something in Canada, it'd be about 5 times the price. So, yeah, I'm not buying this piece of shit. By the way, this does not have an 1,100 pound capacity. So if you read, like, the fine print, if they even mention it, that includes your own body weight and, like, stupid nonsense. But you can just tell by the weight horns, it doesn't hold 1,100 pounds. So yeah, I'm not buying Chinese fucking trash. Thanks, John. We've already watched the... Oh, Mike's attempt at Air Force trials? I don't give a fuck about Mike Isertal. I don't give a shit. Oh my god. Trying to explain things to stupid people is just fucking pointless. Ben Boy, let me see.
Okay. Here it come. I gotta get the intoxicated pig. Look where I poured that mash at right there. Are you messed up, girl? No. Yeah, that one there is fine. Whoa, 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 shit. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. All right.
Okay, thank you for that. Why does it say play open beta but the game's released? Yeah, mixed reviews. Too buggy right now, mediocre, yeah. That's a shame. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bother pre-ordering it. Oh. I am fucking tired as shit. I need to go to bed. I don't have to train tomorrow, so we'll probably do a early afternoon stream where we'll just game. Yeah, Battlefield 6 sucks. Yeah, and then we'll do a normal stream later in the day. But I am seriously fucking tired right now. So I'm gonna go nighty-night. But hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow. Sweet dreams.